Hello and welcome to today's webinar on Dynamics CRM, a spotlight on service. My name is Andy Cluck and I'm on the marketing team here at Ledgeview Partners. We have an exciting topic to talk about today as we dig into the new CRM 2016. For CRM 2016, Microsoft has put a focus on enhancing the service user's experience. So today's webinar will be showcasing service management, unified service desk, along with highlighting CRM 2016. We have a lot to cover in a short time, but before I hand things off to Tom Lemerand, our presenter for today, I have a few of the basic webinar items to cover quickly. First, I do want to mention that today's webinar is being recorded and we will have on-demand version available after the live session. All attendees will receive an email after the webinar with a link to access that presentation. To ensure the best audio quality today, we have everyone on listen-only mode, but if you do have a question, please submit those in the question pane of your GoToWebinar control panel. Again, we only have 30 minutes today, so we will follow up on those questions following the webinar, so please be sure to still submit those though. Now it's time to introduce our presenter, Tom Lemerand. Tom is a pre-sales technical consultant with Ledgeview Partners and has presented on Microsoft Dynamics at several CRM UG regional meetings, CRM conference, the CCB Tech Showcase, and many other events. Tom, thanks for joining us today. It's all yours.
All right, thank you very much, Andy. Like Andy mentioned, today it's all about service. We will be focusing on the service module, and actually I'll just jump to the agenda here. So we'll be focusing on the service module, so everything that the service module provides. We'll also look at some additional service applications, the interactive dashboard, which was introduced in CRM 2016, and the unified service desk. And then we'll be demoing as much as we can within this 30 minutes to really show you the power of what the service module can provide. Now again, we're not going to be able to go into all the specific details on each and every feature and functionality that's within the service module. There is a lot. Since CRM 2013, Microsoft has put a lot of effort and a lot of work and a lot of you're just going to see a lot of features and functionality that is here. It has been really built up, and it's a very robust tool that now comes, again, with your professional license. So everything that we're seeing today is all available through your professional license. So most of you already have it if you already have Dynamics CRM. Just a quick thing on the demonstration is that I am going to be in CRM Online 2016, so it is the newest version of CRM. Now I know that we have a mix of on-premise and CRM Online folks on the phone today, so just know that a lot of the features and functionality that I'm showing you today are going to be available in 2016 only, but if you're on 2011 or 2013 and you're looking at some service things, there are a lot of nice features that, even if you go up to 2015 are still available. But we'll be looking at the latest and greatest version today. So with that, let's take a look at what we'll be looking at here. So, within the case management and case creation, there's lots of different things that now are available. So you can search for duplicates. You can link cases together, parent-child. What that helps with is that, let's say you have a common issue that multiple customers or multiple people are having, and they all call in. You can have one parent case and then link all the children case to that parent case, and now your engineers or your support team only has to work that one case. Once you get some information, once you get to some details, everything that you do on the parent case flows down into the children case, so you only have to manage that one case moving forward. We can merge cases together. We can create case routing rules. So if you need to, if we have an escalation or if you need to do some things where you need to push it different ways, you can do it automatically, or it can be done through actually the users through the interface to select what routing rule they want to go to, and we'll demonstrate some of those. Also some auto create rules. So the biggest area where this comes into play is, let's say you have a common email address, and that email address comes in and it's like support@yourcompany.com. So if you get emails coming into there, now we can have automatically create rules that go in there and say, first we can maybe even see who's it coming from, what's the subject, what is some information about that. Based on how the email is coming into that queue, we can now auto-create cases, or we can auto-create other records through this wizard. Some of the other things that have been added into service has been the service terms. So service level agreements are there, so SLAs, entitlements. easiest way to define an entitlement is, let's say you have different levels of support. Maybe you have, gold, silver, and bronze. So you can put in, what customer has gold, what customer has silver, what customer has bronze. You can also provide different entitlements based on different products. So if you have some, top tier products that provide different level of support than some of the other tier level products, you can do entitlements just based on products, or you can do entitlements based on calendar, and maybe your support or how they are supported are different during business hours compared to after hours. So there's lots of features and functionality you can do within entitlements. There's timers. We'll show you what a timer is, and then the knowledge base. Now, from those of you that have been in Dynamics CRM, knowledge base has been part of CRM. I'm thinking 4.0, if not 4.0, at least 2011 had knowledge base. But it was a very, very simple and basic knowledge base. It was text only, and it was literally you had a header, and then you had the text details below. What we want to show you is that in 2016, they have really enhanced the knowledge base area, and as many of you have heard, they have acquired Parature. That's been a few years ago now. So they took a lot of that knowledge-based capabilities that Parature provided and put it right into the CRM knowledge base area. Some other areas that we'll be looking at today are, again, the Interactive Service Hub, and that just provides an interactive service dashboard experience, and it's also a new case form. So it's not quite a full agent desktop like the Unified Service Desk is, but we'll show you what these new features and functionality is in this interactive world that 2016 has introduced. And then we'll also look at the Unified Service Desk. So again, this is a configurable agent desktop. So some of the main things that people use Unified Service Desk for is call scripting, session management, and it has integration with phone systems, so telephony integration, and then also you can do other integrations with other enterprise applications. So like I mentioned, we only have 30 minutes today, so there's a lot to cover. So I'm going to jump right into the demo. Like Andy mentioned, if you have any questions, please post your questions. If we have time at the end, we'll try to answer some if we have some time. Otherwise, we will respond back. And really today is just to give you a flavor of what the service environment provides. What we really hope is that it gives you some ideas and hopefully it generates a lot of questions that you may have, and then we would like to have that conversation with you, after this, and maybe go into more detail on doing a demo for you, or even talk through your requirements and just seeing if we think the service, the service module is a fit for your service needs or your service requirements. So with that being said, let's jump into CRM. So like I mentioned, I'm in CRM 2016. From those of you, a lot of it looks very similar if you were in 2015 already. For those of you that are in older versions of CRM, especially 2011 or before, the biggest thing is that you have this navigation bar up here. I'm not going to go into too much into this because a lot of you may have seen this. We really want to focus on service. But what we can see here is that now within this service module, you can see all the different areas. And this is another piece I just like to bring this up, is that in CRM 2015 Online, you have this new navigation area. In CRM 2016 On-Premise, now you also have this nice navigation area within 2016 On-Premise. But you can see, the different areas. So accounts and contacts, who are our customers we're working with, our cases, we have our articles or our knowledge base, we can do goals. So again, these areas have been around in CRM for a while, but they've just been really enhanced with the latest versions of CRM. So I'm starting in the dashboard area. This is a common area where we always like to start within CRM. So just the same as we do in sales, we can do the same thing within the service area. So we just have some different dashboards, cases by case type, SLA dashboards, case mixes, what is our priority on here. We have some lists, what are my different cases that I'm working on, what are my activities that I have specifically, and then, kind of the social area. If you're following anybody or if there's any just posts internally, you can see what's happening internally within your CRM. So the reason why I started in this dashboard, again, this dashboard isn't new in 2016 or anything, but this is the standard dashboard. Once we get through reviewing what the case form looks like, I'll show you what this interactive Service Hub dashboard looks like, and it's much more dynamic and much different than what this out-of-the-box dashboard that everyone is used to within Dynamics CRM. So I really want to start here just to kind of paint that picture is that this hasn't changed yet, but we'll show you what changed with the interactive Service Hub in a little bit. But let's dive into a case form. So I'm going to look at my cases here. I'm just going to open up this case. It's an issue with an upgrade. So this is going to bring me right into my case form. And what we're going to see here is, again, this is the new layout of the forms. If you're on CRM 2013 or newer, this shouldn't look different for you. Anyone on CRM 2011 or older, you'll notice that it has given you a lot more real estate. It has taken away that left-hand navigation window that you're used to, and now this navigation bar on the top tells you where you are and where, if you want to go to someplace else within CRM, this is what that top navigation bar allows you to do. But we have the business process flow on here. So a lot of times, the two areas that mostly have these business process flows are your sales process, so lead to opportunity management, and then also cases. So if you have different stages or different pieces that you need to do, to help resolve a case, you can put those in here. Otherwise, you do not need to have this business process flow. But again, it's just a nice functionality that the later versions of CRM now provide. Let's jump into what the case form looks like. And again, we have our 3 columns that are standard with any form within our newer CRM environments. So most of the time on the left-hand side, we go through our different details about the information. In the middle here, we kind of have our social pane, so our activities, our posts, our notes. And then on the right-hand side is our related items that are specific to the case. So let's look at the case detail. Nothing, all these fields that we can fill in here, we can add, remove fields like we can with any other form. What I want to see here is that entitlement. So this is where I can set a specific entitlement that is specific for, this case. Now, the entitlements can come over from the customer, or you can have generic entitlements set up, but the entitlement, setting this entitlement is what generates the SLA, or the service level agreement. And so really what the service level agreement is let me move over here to this right-hand side, is that this is a timer. So service level agreements allow you to put timers on your form. And this timer is a pretty simple one. I'm just saying is that how long do I have to respond? And it's only calculated based on, I'm saying follow up by 2:19. So it's telling me that I have 12 hours and 16 minutes to respond to meet this deadline of following up. But I can get even more specific with that, and that is what I do with my SLAs. So it's easier to show you the visual of what an SLA can provide. So I'm going to open up an SLA form here, and this is a configuration form on how you configure an SLA. So within this SLA form here, it's just saying that I want to start this SLA when it's created. So on creation upon, of the case, I want this SLA to happen. And now I have different kind of levels of SLA details that I have. Is that for a high priority first response, I want to send a warning after 5 minutes, and I want a failure after 1 hour. For normal priority, I want to warn after 1 hour, and I want to fail after 4 hours. So that's for the first response. Then I can have another one for a resolve that I'm going to say that, for a normal priority, I want to let someone know after a day if it's been open, but after 3 days, I want to take action. And what does it mean to take action? So I'm going to open up one of these details just to show you the flexibility that is provided here. So within here, notice I'm in the high priority first response. detail, and it just tells me when should I start this, and it says if a case equals high. What is my success here? And it says when the first response equals yes. Now, I can even further that in saying that here are my my failure actions, and here are my warning actions. So failure actions is maybe I escalate this to a manager, or maybe I reroute it to a different queue, or maybe I send out alerts to the whole company, or whatever you feel is that failure, you can put actions here. And then an SLA item warning. So right here I'm just saying after 5 minutes of a high-level priority case being opened, if no one has responded, then I'm going to send an email to the case owner and letting them know that, hey, you have this high priority case, you need to take a look at it. So with that being said, I'm going to go back to the case form here and notice that this is a high priority. And so because of that, here's that automated email that got generated. So this was sent to me, and it says, you have a high priority case. And then, if I find this in my Outlook, or if I'm, doing it on my phone, I can click on this hyperlink to open up the case that we're looking at. So those service level agreements do give you a lot of flexibility and a lot of capabilities to really handle your cases coming in and making sure that none of your cases drop through the cracks, and hopefully help improve your customer service. The other big piece in here is the knowledge base. And like I mentioned before, is that knowledge base isn't a new feature within Dynamics CRM, but they have really enhanced it with the latest version in 2016, where they put kind of parature capabilities into Dynamics CRM. So with this is that I have it configured to say, look at my case title, and then use my case title to search all of my articles and bring up any of the articles that match, some words that come into here. So I said issues with upgrades. So now it came with upgrade instructions. So now I'm able to, view this, and I can view all the words that come into here. So any verbiage I have into here, I can view in here. But what's even nicer is that I can pop this out, and now look, I can have pictures. I can put, I can take Word documents that maybe I have now and convert it into these knowledge-based articles. And now I can have really nice looking knowledge-based articles that I'd never had that capability before unless I purchased Parature and used it. But now that capability is provided within CRM. I can also, send an email through this, and if I, this is same capabilities you had with previous versions, but now you see the actual image and everything can pop right into my email that I sent out, and then again it will track that my email was sent. Now if you have a portal that's associated with your knowledge base, instead of putting in the actual knowledge base article in here and attaching it right into the body, you can have a setting in here where it just gives the user a URL, so they can click on the URL to kind of do that self-service on your within your service portal if you have that capability, or if you have that available to your customers. So that is a high-level overview of the case form. Oh, one last thing here is that I did mention before. So talked about parent and child cases. Up here, this is where I can just start creating children cases off of this if I want to, just manage that one, but multiple people are having the same issue. The other piece is save and route. This is a new button that came in Dynamics 2016. And what this gives you is that now I can just hit save, and it gives me right to my routing engine. So I can just say, yep, I want to route this case. And now based on the rules and pieces behind that, it saved it, and now it routed it. And what does it mean that it routed that case? So behind the scenes, I have a case that said any high priorities, if I route it, I want to go to a high priority queue. So now I can go and look at my queues here. And notice now I'm in my high priority queue, and this issue with the upgrade has now been routed into this new queue. So that's what those routing rules are. You can make them automated, or you can do them manually by having them click and selecting. And I only have one rule created right now, so there was no selection. It just automatically routed it based on the criteria that it was a high priority case. So that is what the case form looks like in Dynamics 2016. Now 2015 case looks very similar. There's just some features and changes like that routing button, and then the knowledge base integration looks a little bit different. But the look and feel of the case form is pretty similar between 2015 and 2016. So let's go to that new feature that we were talking about before, which is the Interactive Service Hub. So this is the Interactive Service Hub, and this is a new URL that comes with your CRM, but it is a separate URL that you access this area within Dynamics CRM. And what this provides you now is that it gives you a little bit nicer dashboard and a little bit more interactive dashboard than what you currently have with the, within Dynamics CRM, the standard version. So now what I have here is I have a list of all my cases. I have my cases by priority here, kind of my newer looking pie charts. I have the cases by products, so what, kind of let me know what products are causing issues, and then, how am I getting my cases coming in, where are they coming from. So this just gives you a little bit nicer way to manage all of your areas, so you can have your different queues. So let's say you have your high priority queue here and you have your normal queue here, and now you can see if objects are coming into your different queues. The also nice part of this is that why is it interactive? So if I'm looking at my high priority cases, I click on high, it refreshes everything. So it says there's 7 cases. So now those 7 cases are listed here. Also, it's telling me that, okay, here's my, here's what's trending in those high priorities. Where are they coming from? What is, what are the issues that I'm seeing, service. So these now are more interactive compared to what the dashboards are that you know of within your standard CRM environment. I can close out of here, and I want to just look at my cases that are, an issue with grease. So now I can click on that, and then it just limits it, and it dynamically changes my dashboard. So these are all configurable also, so you can build these out, you can change them, you can modify them, and just like anything else, you can have multiple different levels of dashboards just like you can in the standard dashboard area. But let's click on one of these cases. So I'm going to go to the case that we were just working on. So issue with dashboard. So now there's actually a new case form that you can have within this Interactive Service Hub. And what they're trying to do is give the agent a little bit easier way to manage the cases. Now these are all configurable, but now, again, it's just a little bit more stuff on the screen, but the nice thing is that it gives you this timeline. So what's going on with my case? What's happening? What attachments, what notes, what's activities, what posts, what's anything. It just gives me a standard timeline. It puts the newest one on top, and it just links everything else on here together. So from notes to activities to posts, it's all in one area compared to having to click through the different tabs in the standard case form. Also, my related items, if I want to look at my related items, or if I want to go here and look at my knowledge base. So it gives you the same features and gives you the same fields. It just gives you a little bit different look and feel, and again, some people like this interactive form compared to the normal form, and some people don't. But one thing that you're going to notice is that it's really kind of transforming into more of a mobile look and feel. So with that being said, is that this is going to be, they're going to try to be driving this towards that you can bring this up on your mobile and very easily do your case management. You don't have to have the standard case form open. So that's just kind of what's moving forward, and this is a feature that's right now, this Interactive Service Hub or this interactive dashboard is only available for the service side currently, but we're hoping that they expand it to other areas, but this is specific to the service area. So this is, I'm going to say, level 1 of what a service, an agent desktop can be. The next piece that they have is what they call the Unified Service Desk. And again, the Unified Service Desk has been around for the past few releases of CRM, but as with all their applications, that they keep enhancing this. So there had been new enhancements added to the Unified Service Desk in 2016, just to make stuff easier to integrate with it, and then just give it more features and functionality. But we're just going to go over high level on what this can provide, and the easiest way to do this is just to go through a scenario. So I have this hooked up to my telephony system. And so Beth Smith calls in. So as you notice is that her contact information pops up, and then the account that she's associated with pops up. Now, one other area is call scripting. So you can have different pieces that you can, or different scripts that you can create, and you can list on what the different ones are. We only have one configured for this example, but so again, you can actually put verbiage in here if you want them to read. And again, this just depends on your environment, but there's also more powerful pieces within this call script, and I'm going to say it's a checklist. So I'm going to say, all right, for AR packaging, I'm talking to Beth, and she needs a new service request. So I click on new service request. Now notice it gives me another kind of a list. Did I select the customer? Yep, I know that she is still with AR packaging. I verified that. So I'm just going to click on that, and it check marks it off. And now I'm going to go over here and say, okay, now I need to create a case. So I'm going to say create a case. And what this allows me to do is that now this opens up an incident window here. And you're going to notice that this incident window is the same window that you see within our case form. So again, this is integrated with CRM. It's all configured within CRM. This is a highly configurable application. So the application comes with Dynamic CRM, but there is a lot of configuration that you need to do to make sure that it's working and going through the scripting how you want it to. So notice, I can go select the product, verify the entitlement, search for a solution, send my email. So I can just have a checklist of things that the agent can go through. Another nice piece here is that, and you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit. I don't have, unfortunately, an ERP or an enterprise relationship management tool to connect to, but I can have, let's say, a window open to an ERP or a window open to an enterprise application. And now, I can automatically maybe pass the name, or maybe, from here I have an account number and that could pass into here. And now I can have all the information, maybe their order history, or maybe if they need to place an order, now it can be in the same application, so I don't have to be doing my Alt Tab and going through everything, and stuff can flow between the applications. Now, again, that has to be configured, and your enterprise application has to have the ability to have the interface to kind of flow between the two systems. So there's going to be some programming needed in there, but it gives you that capability and it gives you that flexibility to do that. Another nice piece is that, with all customer service agents is that, they're multitasking. They could be working on one case and then someone else calls in and they have to jump to another one. So that's what this nicest up here is, that I could be working on AR packaging, but when Beth called in, I was working on Acme Supply. So now I could be on Acme Supply and have a couple of my windows open, and I could be working through this incident, and then, Beth calls in and I don't lose anything, and now I can be working on multiple sessions at the same time. I can have my different tabs open. I don't have to be going back and forth between different areas within CRM. Each session is unique, and I can have multiple sessions up. So again, I know that we went through a lot of stuff. 30 minutes is not a lot of time to go in depth in all these features and functionality, but we really are hoping that you have at least, seen the capabilities and maybe, pique some interest on, hey, you know what, can I do this for my internal support desk, or can I do this for my external support desk, or I don't have a support desk right now, but I know that my customers are asking for service. Can this help me at least start it up? Or I have Zendesk right now and it's not doing everything I want to do. Since I have CRM license, can I, convert it and start using it all in one system? So I have one central, area to look at, one central area to report on. So we hope that we can talk to you in the future about that. And right now I want to pass this back over to Andy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Great presentation. It's awesome to see so much focus put into customer service this year with CRM 2016, as customer experience is expected to overtake price and product as the key buying differentiator looking into the future. So that's great stuff. As a reminder to everyone, you will receive a copy of today's webinar, so keep an eye out for that. Also, I wanted to mention we have another great upcoming webinar on probably one of the most difficult tasks when implementing a CRM or maintaining your current CRM, and that's user adoption. On March 2nd, we're going to be presenting the webinar, Gaining User Adoption, a 27-point inspection. This session is going to cover a wide range of questions, ideas, and stories to help you increase the user adoption of your CRM. There will be a link to register for this webinar in that email later today that you'll be sent with the on-demand version, so be sure to sign up for the March 2nd user adoption webinar as well. All right, thanks again everyone. If you did submit a question, we will be sure to follow up afterwards as we are out of time, but we thank you for joining us and have a great rest of your day.